lost, they out in my side. I think I'll be a situation, gonna make it right. In the shadow of the darkness, I stand in the light. See, it's our style to keep it true. I had a bad year, I've gone through. I've been knocked out, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. It takes disaster to learn a lesson. You're gonna make it through the darkest night. Some people betray more than class treason. Wanna make everything alright. Woo! They don't faze me, even if I look and act really crazy. I won't wait till she betrayed me. Now my vision is no longer hazy. I'm very lucky to have my crew. They stood by me when she flew. I've been knocked down, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan International Speedway for Chase Race. There's two more remaining after tonight. Here, 90 laps around the 2-mile oval here in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Andy Kessler joining me in the booth tonight. Cisco is going to be doing the producing, getting the picture to C2U. I am Ben Kilcrease. Andy, we have a pretty hefty field coming into tonight. A bunch of good names already entered in on the entry list, and I tell you what, tonight is going to be a spectacular race.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Ben. Come on, Michigan International Speedway. One of the best high-banked, wide, sweeping turns. Lots of room for racing, different lines to run. Of course, we ran this track way back beginning of the season, third race in. Dylan Brockwell picked up the win, first of his consecutive two. Of course, last Thursday, Jones picked up the win at Vegas. So we got quite a battle going here for this championship, Ben, but at the same time, we got a couple Dylans at the top of the leaderboard as far as wins on the season. Each of them with 5. It's been a pretty dominant season for those two guys.
A couple of weeks ago at Charlotte, Andy, it proved that even though you can have the dominant car, doesn't mean you're going to end up on top. As we saw Dave Elliott come out with the win, there's a bunch of these guys from 5th on back just waiting to pounce when these top guns make a mistake or don't do the right thing when it comes to pit strategy, stuff like that. So, I mean, just because you have the dominant car and you have a bunch of wins this season doesn't mean that you're going to walk out of here tonight, dominate, and win the race.
No, absolutely not. And right now, Dylan Jones holds that coveted spot atop of the leaderboard here, Ben, with 3 races to go, including tonight. He's got a 14-point lead over Dave Washington. Dylan Jones actually looking for his 3rd straight Cup Series title, a feat that has never been done here at NoBull. And he's got a sizable lead, 14-point, not much though when you consider who he's racing against and the fact that we have 3 races left.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be they're going to be chopping on his bits to get that points lead away, but Dylan Jones, he rarely makes a mistake, although tonight, qualifying pretty far back in the field, so we'll have to wait and see how he's able to work his way through this snarling pack of Cup drivers here tonight at Michigan International Speedway, most of which I happened to beat last night at Martinsville. The short track king returns to victory lane here at NoBull Motorsports. Sorry, I had to get a pointless plug in for myself there. But we're just moments away from getting this thing underway here at Michigan International Speedway. Andy, what do you think the fuel strategy is going to be like tonight? Do we see... Is it going to be the same thing like we saw at Charlotte a couple of weeks ago when we were live, or do you think we're going to see more of a fuel race tonight?
Oh, Ben, the potential for fuel strategy is huge here at Michigan. We know how wide this track is, how strung out these drivers can get. That's all it takes. If 10, 15 laps into this race, everything gets spread out, you're going to be looking at some green flag stops. And we know with these Cup cars, they're full of fuel. These cars can go a long distance, 45, I would say, laps, 45, maybe 50 laps here on a tank of fuel. But the way the tire build is set up this season in iRacing, we tend to see the tires start falling off between 25 and 30. So around that 30-lap mark, even though they don't have to stop for fuel, Ben, you're going to start seeing a lot of slow times. You're going to see some guys coming down pit road and wanting those fresh tires. And that's exactly what we saw win the race a couple weeks ago. For Dave Elliott at Charlotte. So the potential is definitely there, especially at a track like this.
We'll have to wait and see. Right now we have to head track side for tonight's National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glide, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Crank them up. Fired up. I like bud. Fired up. Fired up. Crank it up. Crank it up. Fired up. We have a good time for this. Keep your eyes down up there, Dylan.
On behalf of iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations and NoBull Motorsport, welcome to Michigan International Raceway, here for Chase Race number 6 tonight in the NoBull Cup Series. Ben Kilcrease alongside me, Andy Kessler, getting the picture that you see to you, Cisco S. Down at the production van. Here we go, Andy. Without further ado, let's go ahead and run up through the starting lineup. Starting on the pole, the time of 38.013. It's the number 20 of Dylan Rockwell to his outside. His mentor is the number 10 of Dave Washington.
Inside of row number 2, in the number 2 car is Kenny Baum Jr. and is outside the 05, James Gagne.
Sean Boundy rolls up inside of row number 3 in the 24. To his outside, the 18 is Witkowski.
Starting 7th in the number 5 is Mitch Lennon. To his outside in the 6th car is Rodney Kramer.
Ryan Limby rolls up inside row number 5 in the 46. Chad Osborne is in the 33 outside of him.
Inside of row number 6 in the 92 is Brian Terry, and his outside in the 32 is Kevin Ford.
Tyler McEwen is inside row 7 in the 69. To his outside, starting position 99 is Mitch Rollo.
Starting 15th in the 71 will be David Camara, and then the 56, Wyatt Wolf will start 16th.
17th is the 41 of Corbin Hemstreet to his outside. This is a surprise. In the 18th starting position, the 11, Dylan Jones.
Starting 19th in the 60 is Brian Neff, and his outside in the number 79 is Stefan Burnell.
Philip, a.k.a. Phyllis Willis, starts 21st in the number 3 to his outside. It's Wyatt Wolf Jr. in the 63.
Starting 23rd will be the 88 of Mylan Lacey, and 24th in the 74 is Eric Dolariva.
Dave Elliott in the 87, 25th is shotgun on the field. Winner a couple weeks ago at Charlotte. Here we go, 90 laps at Michigan International Speedway. 2 miles, 180 miles in total. Brockwell and Washington will lead us to the line. They'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. The race for the chase continues tonight at Michigan.
Great jump on the outside by the number 10, Dave Washington. He's got a slight advantage over Brockwell as they head into turn 1, but that preferred line is that bottom line. And look at Brockwell now, nose to nose. There they are off of turn number 2. Washington slips up just a bit, but he carries the momentum down the backstretch.
That he does. They are dead even. When I say dead even, no. Washington eases ahead just a little bit there. Is Brockwell going to try and fall in behind him? And it looks like he's really going to try and do. Ryan just to start riding here early on. And look behind them, Witkowski and Bounty. They're almost 3 wide down the front stretch. They are. Wachowski the meat in the sandwich.
A great battle. That right now is for that 4th position. Bounty has it by a nose over Gagne with Wachowski looking on from behind. He now slips underneath Gagne. That will be for the 5th position. He clears him off of turn 2.
Wachowski looking good early on. Another car looking good is a 69 of Tyler McEwen. He's right behind the 5 and side by side with the 46 of Ryan Libby. McEwen started in the 13th position, bump him to 9th as they work their way through 3 and 4.
McEwen now has a nose underneath Mitch Lennon as they exit turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Tyler McEwen trying to power move his way towards the front of the field with what we would call a poor qualifying effort for Tyler. Right now as he's side by side with Mitch Lennon battling out through the corner. Lennon on the high side hanging tough though. Car slips up just a bit. Looks like McEwen might clear him off at 2. No, they're still side by side.
Lennon able to keep the run up on the high side. He's able to keep McEwen from running up off the corners and getting the run that he needs to prevail ahead of him down in 3 and 4. McEwen will pull ahead. For 3rd position, they are going at it. Bounty has it for now. Baum sits 4th and Wachowski is 5th. 3 cars going at it for their last podium position.
That's Wachowski. It looks like Kenny Baum just let him go right there in the entry to turn 1. Kenny Baum Jr. now drops behind Wachowski. That's going to make it a single car train now off of turn number 2. The SOP 10, 50, 20 guys all single file here in Michigan.
Rockwell able to close back up to the bumper of Dave Washington. It looks like these guys are just going to opt to ride it out for these first handful of laps. We complete lap 4 and begin work on 5 at the line.
We do know, man, at a track like this, these guys, when they can get up on each other and draft, the draft can play a big factor here. So the fact that Rockwell let him go early is just a testament to try to maybe these 2 guys to hook up and try to maybe pull away from the field. But it's not happening as here comes Bounty.
Oh,
Bounty
there goes
off of
Bounty.
turn 2. Able to corral it. He's going to lose a ton of positions.
What a save, though, by the 24. He comes up in the line. Looks like Camaro can let him in. Oh, look out, Bounty almost made contact with Lennon. He entered real low down in turn 3. That's why he slid up in the center. Oh my, he's able to make it through that, but Sean Bounty drops from 3rd all the way back to the 7th position in 1 lap, and here comes Camaro looking at the inside in the 71.
Camaro out to the inside of Bounty. That's actually for the 10th or 9th position, excuse me. Dave Camaro trying to get it. He's right now got a nose on him. Now they're side by side, and now Bounty with a slight advantage off of turn 2 and heading down the backstretch.
You go see that high side starting to prevail again, especially off turn 2. Not the best in turn 3, but you can make it work. Oh, and Camara sideways, he saves it at least for now. They go 3 wide, split him on the bottom. Camara gonna lose some positions here as well.
Got 10th all the way to 16th, Ben, and a real tough job right there for him. But man, just showing how slippery this track can be, especially on the exit of the corners.
So 2 scares early on, at least that we've caught. There's probably been some more further back in the field. We are still green flag racing here at Michigan International Speedway.
Right now, the top 5 men have actually pulled away from Tyler McEwen, who sits 6th right now. A huge gap between them 2 as McEwen now is actually falling back into the clutches now of Mitch Lennon, as Mitch Lennon now trying to put a move on and get up towards the front.
So top 4, tail to nose, James Gagne able to barely hang on to their draft. He might be in jeopardy of losing the first pack strap. Oh, Wachowski gets the wall down in turn 1. Doesn't look to affect his car too much. Gagne sits 5th, Baum is 4th. Wachowski 3rd, he gets a little loose off turn 2, and here comes Baum to the inside, looking for 3rd down into turn number 3.
Kenny Baum with a great run because Witkowski getting a little bit out of shape there on the exit of turn number 2. Witkowski's just going to let him go. Kenny Baum Jr. now move him back up to 3rd place as they come off of turn 4. Now Kenny Baum gets a little bit wiggle. Here comes Witkowski for the Kill Crease crossover.
Witkowski, a Kill Crease crossover down the front stretch. Let's see if Baum can return the favor. You know, I taught Tenny. God, my goodness. I taught Tenny.
You all right, man?
I'm done.
I think he taught Kenny Baum Jr.
Oh dear. I'm sorry to the viewers that have to put up with us week in and week out. Bob gonna settle
Put that one
for
on the
4th. Yeah. Bob gonna settle for 4th. And
Battle heats
James
up for
Gagne able to pull up. Yep. Moving to the inside of McEwen, turn 1. McEwen has a run down into the corner off of turn 2. Do we see a slide jump from the 5? We do, but it wasn't in front of the 69. He was sideways on the bottom, and McEwen able to get back around the outside.
McEwen hanging tough on that outside line, was able to take advantage of the slip up by Mitch Lennon. Now it looks like just behind him, here comes Sean Bounty trying to make up some of that track position. Now he's on the inside of Rodney Kramer as they head down the front track. Give Bounty the slight advantage at the line. That's going to move him up a spot. Sean Bounty now back up to 8th place here, slowly but surely trying to catch his breath after that slip. Now we got a big pass by Mitch Lennon and power move underneath, and now McEwen looks really out of shape off of turn number 2.
So Lennon up to the 6th position. We'll see if his car starts to come in on the longer runs as opposed to McEwen's on the earlier portion of the run.
The problem with this tire model too this season, Ben, is once you aggravate these tires, they seem to kind of fall away a lot quicker than they normally would on a run.
Yep, and Brockwell off of turn 4 was so close to the outside wall, I don't think he could have slid a piece of paper between he and the concrete. He was able to keep it out of there, though, and he still sits 2nd, but he has got Witkowski all over his rear bumper, and Witkowski has the 2 of Baum all over his rear bumper. These top 4, top 5 are going at it here in the early going.
Yeah, the little bit of racing these top 4 have been doing has allowed James Gagne to catch up and kind of get that draft back here. Gagne sitting 5th, sitting nice right now. A good strong run here early on as we just complete lap number 13, excuse me. This is exactly what we talked about, Ben, early on in the race. These guys get strung out like this, and now you start looking, we're about halfway through a tire run, we'll call it, instead of a fuel run.
Yep.
And now, you're starting to see some comers and goers, the guys who maybe save their stuff or have a better car on that long run. You're going to start seeing them now start move through the field and see these other guys start falling back.
I tell you what, on board with Sean Bounty, these guys are going at it for the 8th position. Bounty and Libby. Libby tried to make the pass on the outside a couple of corners ago, and he gets real out of shape down the back stretches. Bounty, Libby, and Kramer. Those 3 cars tail to nose battling for that 8th position into turn 3.
Yeah, these guys battling hard now. Looks like Libby looking to the inside now. His Bounty gets a little bit loose there off of turn number 4. That's going to leave that door open for Libby. Libby now looking to the bottom side. Kramer now closing in on the bumper of the 24 as they head to 1.
Kramer lets out real early. Libby slides up the track. They'll be door to door. Bounty and Libby off turn 2, and Libby's going to lose it. Libby sideways, so is Kramer. They both keep it straight and pointing in the right direction, and now those guys will battle it into turn 3.
Just like that, now Bounty pulls away about 15 car lengths. Libby now way up the track. Leaves that bottom door wide open for Kramer. Here he comes. Kramer now to the inside. They're going to be side by side off of turn 4 and to the line. Give the advantage to Kramer. Now here comes Libby. Libby, can he fall back in line here before these guys behind him who are racing real hard start catching up?
Yeah, gaggle of cars behind these guys. Osborne leads the train of Rollo, Him Street, and Ford. And here comes Mitch Rollo looking at the inside of the 33 for 11th down the backstretch. Him Street, like I said, is there. So is Ford, Camara, Terry, Elliott, Dallariva, and Neff and Wolf are trying to hang on to their draft.
Trying to hang on. A lot of these guys in the back probably are hoping for that caution that we aren't seeing right now. Him Street now on the inside of Rollo. That is the battle right now for 12th place. Him Street, he's got it as they head back into turn number 1 with looks like Kevin Ford now looking. He's trying to come on strong here. He was falling back there at the beginning of the run, but now it seems his car is on its best right now as he is all over that back bumper of the 99.
Good racing throughout the field. Here early in this one at Michigan International Speedway, we're on 18. Washington will cross the line to make it 19. This time Baez, he is still your leader here at Michigan.
Led every lap so far here this evening after a great jump on the start. Got that outside line. They were kind of side by side for a lap or so, but I believe some radio communication team-wise came across the air. They just fell in line, and since then, nobody's been able to touch them. As now Kenny Baum looks to the inside of Wachowski. That's for third.
Wachowski, Baum, side by side. Here comes Wachowski with a run on the outside. He'll lose a little bit there. Have to fall in behind Baum, and Baum goes to third.
These two guys have been battling it out for that third spot pretty much this whole opening 19 laps of this race here. Kenny Baum now going to try to stretch the lead, or not the lead, but the lead from Wachowski there to third spot and try to maybe chase down these front two guys. But I think that we're seeing exactly what can happen here. Two cars not really tangling, but catching each other's draft. And if they just stay in line like they are, which they have, you will see them start pulling away from the field. And this could be a disaster for the rest of the guys.
Yep, certainly could. So a somewhat not as much eventful race as we're used to. We've had a couple of slideways cars off of 2 and 4. That's about it. We've had a couple of side-by-side battles, but as far as contact, we haven't seen a bunch tonight here at Michigan International Speedway. And I tell you what, look at that 18, Andy. He's starting to fall back. I think he might have used his stuff up way too early.
Yeah, he might have. We've seen that in the past at some tracks. I'm not sure if it's just the aggressive nature of their setups, if it's the way the driver likes to drive the car. These cars, I'll tell you, they feel good with brand new tires on it. So a lot of times it's really a lot of discipline to keep yourself from over-driving it early on. And that might be the problem here for Wachowski, because a couple laps ago he was sitting third. Now he's falling all the way to fifth and still losing ground. So Wachowski definitely probably one of those guys looking forward to this pit stop. Like I said, though, it should be coming up here in 10, 15 laps. You should start seeing these guys hit pit road before these tires really fall off.
8 laps away from the 1/3 mark of this race. Dave Washington has led every lap to get-go. Brockwell, the protege that he is, has just sat right behind him the whole time. Battle for 8th. Libby to the inside of Bounty into turn 1. They go side by side now. Libby is able to clear him, and Libby up to the 8th position.
Smart move by Bounty, because he saw that behind these guys.
Back stretch. No, not going to do it. I thought I was going to get to say it.
I was going to say he made a smart move by falling in line, knowing he had a huge gap between him and the 99 back there. But those guys, Rollo, Osborne, and Him Street are just having a great old battle back there. And that right there is for that 10th spot.
Him Street, puts the bumper in 1. Osborne way up the track, keeps it out of the wall on the back stretch. He'll try and come back up to the bumper of Him Street. Behind those guys, Dallariva and Kevin Ford going at it for the 13th position. Dallariva has it for now.
It's a good start for Dollarito. He started way in the back there. He's moved his way about halfway through this field right now. So big mover of the race so far here. Dollarito up to 13th.
For 5th, Lennon Witkowski go at it off turn 2. Lennon had a real good run coming to the backstretch and caught Witkowski's rear bumper right on corner exit. He couldn't do anything with him, so they'll try again down in 3 and 4. Tom Witkowski really starting to fall back. I don't know if he's saving his tires or if he's used them all up already.
I really think this is a product of losing them this early. And, you know, honestly, it's really not that early. We did talk about it earlier in the pre-race, Ben, that, you know, around 30, 32 laps, it's when these tires, it's when the drivers say these tires really fall off. So we're only about 5 laps from that. And so I really think that his stuff's just been burned off too quick. And Witkowski looking for that pit stop. But the way these laps are, 90 laps, you want to at least make it to 30 here before you come in that first pit stop. Otherwise, it's going to make that last stop a real long one. Oh, and here comes Witkowski. He's actually going to go now. Lap 26. Here he comes to pit road.
Witkowski says, hey, I'm not going to lose any more positions. I'm going to hit pit road and get a gain up on these guys when they're out here on the old tires and I'm on the new tires.
This will be one guy to watch, Ben, because I believe that at our Charlotte race that the winner, Dave Elliott and Wyatt Wolf, who ended up finishing second, those guys made one extra pit stop than these other guys. So Witkowski's going to be a guy to watch here come the end. He might be the guy to watch for.
I tell you what, I've been watching Brockwell in Washington these past couple of laps. Brockwell has had so many opportunities to pass Washington, but hasn't. Why?
Well, like I said, one big picture. Dave Washington right now is in the. I mean, if you really go back and look through the standings right now of this race, Dylan Jones finds himself way back into 20th right now. So if it was to end right now, Washington's a new point leader. So I think that team communication, team whatever, whether Dave's leading or Dave's in second, I think the two of them just trying to do everything they possibly can to keep him up there, keep the lap times where they need to be for as long as they can, and hope for the best as far as the points night here tonight and try to gain up some of that position with only 2 more races after tonight.
I tell you what, K-Bomb Jr., this is a good run for that number 2 machine. He sits third, and he is not too far off of the 2 leaders, running the exact same lap times as him. So K-Bomb Jr. is going to be one to watch out for in the later parts of this race.
Yeah, he is. I'm just, you know, he's done a really great job on this run, saving his tires, man. And it's definitely showing here later in this run as they're working lap number 30 now. So I expect to see these leaders in the next 5 laps at the most come in, especially seeing that some of the field has already come down pit road. Tom Witkowski being one of the biggest ones. And, yeah, it looks like the 20 here on the radio now is actually 20 and 10 are going to come in this lap right here. So 30 laps going to be what they're going to do tonight.
So this is a crucial part of the race right here. Cannot afford a mistake getting on the pit road. Cannot afford a speeding penalty coming off. Here we go. Look at Bob. He's going to close right up to the bumper. He says, hey, I'm going to be in this battle down pit road.
Yeah, he is. Look at Gagne, too. Gagne deciding, hey, these guys are pitting. I might as well pit and get down here. Get these tires, be on the same strategy as these guys. Here's we've completed 30 laps here now, a third of the way done here at Michigan.
Mitch Lennon, new leader, he picks up the lead.
Oh, but all these leaders, Ben, all 4 of these guys overshot their box. Had to back up just a smidge. All 4 of them, Ben. It was like synchronized.
That is
here's
crazy.
Libby. Libby's going to come out. He's going to make up a lot of ground.
Look at there. Oh, and Bomb goes into the wall. Bomb goes into the wall, takes the cone with him. Oh, are you kidding me? So Washington quite a bit further back. Gagne is in between he and Brockwell, and Ryan Libby just says, hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Tom
Libby.
Witkowski. right there in front of those guys. He's going to come up on the lap machine of Mylan Lacey off turn 4.
Yep, that's going to be a guy to watch. I told you, Todd Wachowski, that lap times with those fresh tires is going to put him in the lead. We'll see how long it'll last, though, because these guys now with the fresh tires will be coming in a hurry. But overall track position should be pretty good. But like I said, you're going to have to look. He pitted on lap 26.
Watch Lennon in the 5. Look at Lennon in the 5. He's going to come out in front of Wachowski possibly down the back stretch. He can get up to speed into turn 3. That's going to be a close battle.
That's a two-tire stop, if you ask me, there, right there, Ben. Mitch Lennon was running about 7th, I believe, when the pit stops happened. So there's no way he's out in front of him without just taking 2 tires. But we'll see here. We'll go back and check it out.
It turns out it was actually 4 tires for Mitch Lennon. Wow, that's a pit stop right there. Meanwhile, Chad Osborne, your leader, off turn 2. He has not pitted yet, so Osborne be looking for him in the next couple of laps. Osborne, man, look at those tires. You can tell. Just old tires versus new tires, how the big difference.
I still can't get over how well Mitch Lennon's crew did, Ben, on that pit stop. Amazing pit stop, 4 tires, and was able to come out ahead of Wachowski. And
he stayed out. He stayed out an extra lap too, so that's pretty impressive.
What a stop by the crew.
So still just looking through the field here. Chad Osborne has yet to come in that car, I mean, that is just his lap time this time by. We'll see what it is, a 41.515. Dylan Jones just passed him with new tires, a 38.233. 3 seconds between the two.
Yeah, that's huge. That's just, I don't know what strategy those guys are on, but man, they're definitely going for something here, going for that win. But he's working lap 36 right now, Ben. So I don't. I mean, he might be able to make it on one stop, obviously with fuel, but losing this much time, I don't know if it will benefit him or not here at the end. It looks like he's slowing up now, coming down pit road.
Yeah, good move there. I don't think he could have survived any more laps after those tires are shot like that. So Lennon will take the lead right here as Osborne is down pit road. Osborne will be scored with that lap, but Lennon will take it right there. And Wachowski's right on his bumper. Wachowski says, hey, I don't think I want you to lead the lap. I think I want it to be me.
I think they still gave it to Osborne.
Osborne scored leader at the line. He crossed the line first on pit road. So it'll be Lennon, it looks like, this time by. Off 4, he gets a little wiggly. Here comes Wachowski down the front stretch. Not going to have anything at the line, but he is closing on him. 18 and 5, going to go out for the lead. And in turn 1, here comes Wachowski. He sticks the nose, doesn't do anything. Maybe he does. He rolls through the center. Looking on the high side, Wachowski using the low lane. Battle for the lead to the backstretch.
Huge battle. Wachowski, maybe he didn't learn anything about that first run here. Burning his stuff up early. Trying to get that lead away. You know, he was on that earlier pit stop, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him in another 10 laps. But right now, he's making a hard charge for that lead. Off of turn number 4, he's still closing in. Now he gets loose. He wiggles just a bit. And now here they go. Mitch Lennon still pulling away on the front stretch.
While those guys are going at it, Dylan Brockwell running 0.3 faster a lap. Washington in the same boat behind them. They're 3rd and 4th. Man, it it's almost scary how fast Washington and Brockwell are when they are tail to nose. It just seems like there's a draft between the two that no other cars get. It makes them just so much faster.
Well, their driving styles, everything is just mirror image of each other, and it shows on the track. They run the exact same line as each other, exact same everything. It's an awesome sight to see, and we saw this, Ben, a couple seasons ago, 3-4 seasons ago, when Brockwell first entered into NoBull, and a night and day difference from when Dave took him under his wing.
Thank you.
We ride on board with Dave Washington as he is clicking off these laps, and the thought runs through your mind, is Washington using his stuff up? But then you think about it and you say, oh, it's Dave Washington, so of course he's saving his stuff.
Yeah, we just had a battle for the lead right here in turn number 1. Witowski power move on the bottom side, took it over from Mitch Lennon, though. Mitch Lennon not too happy with it, doesn't seem right now, as he's pulled back up to his bumper as they head back down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Now Mitch Lennon closing in on that 18 car.
Yeah, Lennon's one of those guys that will not let you have it without a competition off turn 4, though Lennon's starting to fade, it looks like, as Witkowski going to lead the slap at the line.
Mitch Lennon might have been pushing it too hard, or decided, you know what, go ahead and push your stuff, boy. But just like the veteran that he is, Mitch Lennon's using a wise move here to drop back in line and just let him go and maybe burn his stuff up and try to push him around this track here. Witowski still only about a half a car length lead right now as they head back into turn number 3.
Just to give you an idea of how fast Dave Washington is, Mitch Lennon on that last lap ran a 38.556. Dave Washington ran a 38.103. That's fast.
Oh yeah, they're definitely catching. Slowly but surely, but here they come. Down turn number 1. Looks like Dave Washington's actually... we got trouble in the front stretch. Looks like a car's down on the grass, man. Can't quite tell what number it is yet.
That's Eric Dallariva. He's back ways through the grass. We're still green. As Dallariva tries to get it rolling, we'll have to see what the officials decide to do.
The grass is definitely slippery down there, but he's got it back up on track here. Gonna have to try to stay on the low side here as the leaders go whizzing by there. Wow, they look fast.
It's only about 208 mile an hour going down into turn number 1 as Mitch Lennon was pushing Witkowski down the front stretch, and he's pushing him all the way around the track as they both get a little slideways off turn 2. It's Witkowski and Lennon still going at it for the lead.
Yeah, look at that group that's forming up behind them. Coming back along again, and here comes Mitch Lennon now trying to get a good run off of turn number 4. He's starting to close back in here. Drifts off the track, hits the wall. Mitch Lennon into the wall here off of turn number 4.
Yeah, there you go. He might have been pushing it a little too hard, like you stated earlier. But man, look at Brockwell and Washington, how they have closed this gap, and you can just sit here and watch between the two. They are visually closing in on them down the backstretch, and Washington says, hey, I want to take over this position as the leader in this group. So Washington goes to the front of Brockwell, and this is how we've seen them in the early part of the race. They're going to do it again as they chase down the top 2. Witkowski almost got into the wall there.
Witkowski did almost get into the wall, and that's allowed Mitch Lennon to somewhat stabilize the position right now as they head back into turn number 1. Mitch Lennon definitely better on entry right there, as you can see him close in on Witowski. Witowski, though, off of turn number 2, is going to have the advantage, but here comes that duo of Washington and Brockwell now, closing in even more on the back straightaway.
We're going to call that team the Washwell team. Smoke. It's from David Camara in the 31. He's to the pits, and it looks like box by Christopher, number 71. He got loose by himself off turn 2, overcorrected into the wall. We stay green.
A little bit early for his second pit stop. Otherwise, it might have worked out all right for Dave Camara, but not going to happen right now. Witowski now on the backstretch, Ben, is actually pulling away from the 5, but here comes the 10 and the 20 right now as they start to really close in on Mitch Lennon here in the turn number 3, but they got a lap car, the 87 of Dave Elliott, to deal with, as Witowski now trying to go on the outside of Dave Elliott here off of turn number 4.
Lennon goes high to let the Washwell duo go by on the inside. Brockwell gives the bumper to Washington down the front stretch. A little push into turn 1. Man, these guys are catching Witkowski, and he knows it. By the way, those top 3 cars right there, I beat them last night at Martinsville. Andy, can you believe that?
I couldn't believe it until I heard it and saw the results.
Just 4 laps past halfway here at Michigan International Speedway. I want to thank you for tuning in with us, spending your night with us on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon here at Michigan International Speedway. Andy, coming into tonight, points had a big spread in between them, and I tell you what, after tonight, Jones is sitting 12th. He better get the move on, or he might be in a points race heading into the final, or a tighter points race, I should say, heading into the final 2 races.
Yeah, I think without a caution right now, Dylan Jones, I mean, unless, somebody falls out, hits the wall or something like that, it's going to be tough for him to get up into that top 5. So
we had trouble off turn 4. Willis and Terry made contact a couple of moments ago. We didn't catch it. They spun to the pit road, and we stayed green.
Battle for the lead now heading into turn number 3. Washington to the inside of Witowski. Going to make short order of that 18 car now as Dave Washington trying to pull his partner and teammate, the 20, Dylan Brockwell. They're side by side. That is Brockwell and Witowski on the front stretch.
Witkowski going to take him side by side. Look out. Oh, man, they almost door bang going down into turn 1. Brockwell runs the high line, and just like that, Witkowski is a thing of the past. He goes back to 3rd as Washington and Brockwell go to the point here at Michigan. This is almost like a Talladega or a Daytona race with those 2 guys tandeming.
It is, but I don't think they've been closer than half a car length from each other. They don't need to. You really, because you got to let off on the throttle here, you're just not able to really get on that back bumper and stay there. So they're doing what they got to do, and they're pulling away now from the 3rd place machine of Witowski as they head back into turn number 1. Washington Brockwell looking stout here tonight at Michigan.
That they are. Be 38 laps to go at the line this time by. Still quite a ways to go, but we are in the closing stages of this race, so now's the time that you start thinking about fuel and tires, I should say, tires mostly, about what the strategy is going to be. Who's going to stay out the longest? Who's going to come in quickest? This is the turning point of the race where everything starts to get interesting down on the pit road.
Yeah, and all the crews are all getting ready, making sure they got the right tire pressures in those tires. Getting ready because they know those green flag stops are coming up soon here. We saw the leaders come in on lap number 30, so only about 8 laps away from that now, Ben. But that 18 car, Witkowski, starting to fall back into the clutches of Mitch Lennon. And if you remember, he pitted on lap 26. Well, right now it's 53, so he's already outdone himself on his first run right now. Witowski, but he's sitting 3rd, so so far his strategy has worked out.
Well, we are coming up on 26 laps to go. We're going to take a quick break before we head to pit stops. We'll just go silent in the booth. We'll be right back here momentarily from Michigan International Speedway. Here we are back at Michigan International Speedway from our short break. Usually we take a break under caution, but Andy, we've been clean and green from the get-go here tonight at Michigan International Speedway. We're running up on lap 62 away from it, and the 2 leaders still out on the track. But quite a few other people from the back of the pack are starting to make their way down on the pit road.
That they are. Some of the guys, Ryan Libby, he's made his way to pit road. It looks like Chad Osborne, of course, Eric Dollar-Riva went down a lap for the spin. So, yeah, a bunch of guys choosing to make their pit stops now. It's only going to be about 5 more laps or so. You're going to start seeing the 10 and 20 hit pit road. No, and the leaders almost made contact.
Yeah, I saw that.
Turn 3 and 4, man. Oh, my God. A little miscommunication or something right there, but Brockwell almost got in the back of Dave Washington, and that would have been some trouble right there.
I think of the 2, Brockwell is actually the quickest.
He might be on the longer run. It really looks that way. Really able to close in on Washington on the exit of the corners, but definitely on the shorter run because Dave Washington power moved by him earlier on here in this run.
Here we go. Looks like Washington, Brockwell going to be making their way down to pit road. And remember, last time, everybody overshot their pit stall. Hopefully that's not the case this go around. Washington, Brockwell, they're clean down pit road so far. Here comes McEwen behind them.
Hey, remember
and Lacey goes through the grass. He got sideways off 4 and then made contact. Had some contact on pit road. Bomb came in a little too fast. Spun Brunel, and Dylan Jones made contact with Kenny Baum Jr. while he was sliding down onto the pits, so that is crucial for those guys.
I want to make a note here, Ben, that Wachowski made that early pit stop, lap 26, and he is still out there here on lap 62, riding around here. Changing their pit strategy up a little bit, but if I was him, I would have been pitting with the 20 and the 10 right there, because his first go around there in the pit stops, it actually worked out to his favor there. He was running third. So right now he's falling back behind Michelin about 5 seconds, but Wachowski still out there. Looks like now he might be slowing up here. Here comes Wachowski now. 2-pit lane, real hot now coming down.
Oh, wow, that's going to be
That's
close.
gonna be real close.
He might have got it there. He might have got tagged because he was still at 60 mile an hour, about 100 feet in. We'll have to wait and see on this pit stop here. If
he overshot it.
That's, man, he is.
He's out. He's going to pull it behind the wall.
Oh, wow. He might have got tagged with a speeding penalty, and yep. So Michelin gives up the lead. Andy, we encourage everybody watching the stream right now to hop on over to NoBull Motorsport TeamSpeak after the race. Going to have a little meeting about a little project we're going to be working on the next couple of weeks. We're going to be helping out the folks over at Cancer Freeze. We're also going to be helping out Bailey Bird and her journey with her cancer. You can read it all. We sent out an email to every division earlier today. You can read all about it in an email. We'll talk about it later here in TeamSpeak. Also going to toss around some ideas that we have to do some more fundraising for Cancer Freeze later in the year.
Yeah, truly a great cause there, and we're happy NoBull is part of that, and us here at the network. And right now, battle the lead is actually separated quite some time right now. Washington looks like he's going to have about a second lead over Dylan Brockwell here as they head back into turn number 1.
Yeah, and we are in the closing stages of this race. 25 to go at the line. Now, does Washington slow up to get to Brockwell?
No.
Or does he just run away with it?
You're going for the win, man.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Teammates
with
or
Dave
not,
Washington.
you can't do that at this point, Ben.
On board with Washington, he's coming up on quite a bit of lap traffic with the next couple of laps. Dollar will be his first victim, then Neff, then Wyatt Wolf Jr. So we'll see if those guys play anything into the battle for the lead. But Dylan Brockwell, he is reeling them in. He ran 2/10 faster than Washington that lap alone, and he's starting to reel him in down the backstretch. Washington's behind the lap traffic, and he's having to slow up for him. And Dylan Brockwell is able to start reeling him in as they go side by side in front of the leader.
Side by side, it looks like Dollar Riva's going to have him cleared rather quickly. Here comes Washington. He clears Brian Neff. Now he's going to set his sights on the lap car of Eric Dollar Riva. Brockwell still closing in. You can visually see it as they head down the front straightaway.
Just over 4/10 there. Washington got caught up behind Dollar Riva. Dollar Riva's almost in the wall. Here we go. We got a battle for the lead as they race the backstretch.
Yeah, that was quite close there with 10 and 74 heading into turn number 1. But Dave Washington able to get around him. Dollar Riva able to keep it off the wall and stay ahead of Brian Neff right there. Of course, that right there is not for. Well, actually, I think it is for position here. I think Eric Dollar Riva just took that spot away from Brian Neff. So moving Dollar Riva, looks like he's going to be running that 16th spot right now. Never mind, I was wrong. He's 2 laps down. You gotta love the iRacing scoring loops, you know? It's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
iRacing gives us such a wonderful product, Andy. Please don't complain.
That's fantastic. Hey, Ben, what about green, white, checker?
Yeah, what about them?
Coming out in the next build there.
Oh, yeah, is that right? No, I think we're getting updates to the cone physics first.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we got that a couple seasons ago. Anyway, our leader's still pulling away from everybody else, about a 4.5 second lead over Michelin, but Brockwell still slowly, but he's reeling in that tank car right now, Ben, and like I said, it's this late in the race. Teammates are not usually going for that win, and Brockwell definitely wants to be the top dog here in the Cup Series. But Washington, he needs every point he can get to try to close that gap on Dylan Jones. Because right now, Jones has made up some spots, Ben. He's up to 8th now in the ring order.
Brockwell off a turn 2. Look at him wheel that number 20 Toyota Camry down the backstretch. He is really starting to close in on Dave Washington this time by. It'll be 20 laps to go here at Michigan International Speedway.
20 laps, 40 miles. We're on board with Dylan Brockwell now. You can watch him just watch that 10 car get bigger and bigger and bigger in his front windshield. Brockwell now 3 car lengths now from Dave Washington as they head back into turn number 1.
Hopefully the 10 doesn't get too big in the front windshield.
Or in it.
Or in it. Down the back stretch. A car length in between the rear bumper of Washington and the front bumper. Caution is out! Caution is out! Here at Michigan
looks like
International
the 60 was
Speedway.
involved. And the 74, Ben.
Oh my goodness. Riva was sideways down the backstretch. Actually, he overcorrected into the wall off turn 2, spun to the infield, slammed the infield wall, went up the track. Lennon got into him, and then Neff had nowhere to go but right into the door of the 74.
Unbelievable. What a fantastic run, though, Ben. 71 laps of green flag racing by these Cup stars here, and just proving it. Best in the business right here, and these guys really getting it done. Now, here's the big question. You know these guys are going to come down pit road. If you don't, it's suicide. But the question is, do we see any guys take 2 tires, especially those guys sitting maybe 5th on back, maybe to take a chance and maybe get a better finish or even a win?
Hemstreet, Boundy, McEwen, Jones, Ford. I mean, these guys have nothing to lose. So why not? We'll have to wait and see. Leaders head to pit road.
Quite a huge gap to Michelin when they entered pit road, which I'm quite surprised about. I would have thought Michelin would have been right up there with those guys, but nonetheless, here they are down pit road. I can't imagine these leaders taking anything but 4 tires. As they all hit pit road, it looks like, Gagne had to back up just a bit. Other than that, everybody's into their stall. Here comes Kenny Baum Jr. now. He's a little bit behind these guys.
Boundy takes 2. Boundy takes 2. He'll have the lead.
We knew somebody was going to do it.
Owen Brockwell beats out Washington. Oh, my goodness.
That was probably Brockwell's. You know that bumper's huge, wide on that 10 car, especially late in the race when he had the lead. That was probably Brockwell's winning move right there. But however, they still got to get by that 24. Sean Bounty and the doyourpart.org. Chevy Silverado. the Chevy SS. So, great job by Bounty's crew. And you know what? Why not? He was running 7th, 8th. So, why not? Why not give it a shot? Why not try it and see what can happen?
Now, with Sean Boundy in the lead, does he choose the outside and put Washington and Brockwell on the inside, or does he choose the inside and put Washington behind him? Andy, let's see if we can't dial up Sean Boundy in the number 24. Sean Boundy, Ben Kilcrease in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
I tell you what, Sean, 2 tires And just a handful of laps remaining. Are you going to be able to hold off Dave Washington and Dylan Brockwell and the rest of the field behind you?
Well, I think that's the question on my mind more than everyone else behind me. I'm not quite sure it is, but I'm going to give it my best. I was hanging around in 6, cruising around with everybody else, so I thought near the end of the race I'd just, give it a try.
All in all, a good race for the number 24 doyourpart.org machine.
Oh yeah, very, very nice and stable race. Had a little bump at the beginning of the race. Lost respect for turn 2. Came down to the apron to redeem myself and made my way back into the top 6 from after that. And so I've just been hanging around there, just waiting to see if something could happen.
Well, that something did happen. You took advantage of it, and we'll have to see how it shapes out for you. Sean, we wish you the best of luck in the remainder of the race.
Thank you very much.
Sean Boundy going to be your leader on 2 tires on this restart. And what I was saying, Andy, man, you just got a bunch of thoughts running through his head. Do you want Washington and Brockwell on the inside, or do you want one fast guy to your outside, and do you want to trap one guy behind you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big question. The high side we see has had some momentum here during this race, but at the same time, on the restart, we are pretty much full throttle through the corner, so maybe that bottom line's the place to be. We'll see what he decides to do here. We should have probably asked him, but I don't know if he would have given his secret out.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, guy I want to watch too here, Ben, on this restart. It's that 41 car. He's moved up a couple spots as a result of those pit stops, Corbin Him Street, so he's going to restart 5th here, so keep an eye on that 41 car also.
And one guy who is just amazing on the short runs, that's 69 of McEwen outside row 3. Mitch Lennon, he's pretty good on the long run. He's going to have to get going on this short run. It's going to be 15 laps to go at the line. Boundy chooses the inside. We haven't been able to try a restart yet tonight, so we'll have to wait and see how the 2 tires work versus the 4 tires.
Another guy to watch out, Ben. I just noticed him. Look at him creep up into the standings here. The 11 car there, Dylan C. Jones, able to move up here. He's going to restart 8th, it looks like, here on this restart. Chance for him to at least close the gap a little bit on Dave Washington, maybe not lose as many points as it looked like it was going to lose early on. So Dylan Jones hanging tough all race long, and here he is with a chance to get a top 5. Yeah,
he could, man, not only a top 5, if he could get going on this short run, he could get up there into the top 3. Oh, a bunch of stuff gonna happen on this restart, and we've only got 15 laps to settle it. If there's a caution in between, well then we'll just have to pace it out for those couple laps and try and go back out and finish under green. Here we go, 15 laps remaining in this one. We've been clean and green up until this previous caution. The first restart of the night, Boundy on 2 tires. The rest of the field behind him has 4. And they'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2. 15 to go here in Michigan.
Oh, Mitch Lennon missed a shift or something there on that restart. Bottles up the top groove there. That's going to give Him Street the opportunity to make a pass, but not going to happen. Here's the leaders side by side still in turn number 1.
Boundy has an advantage. Boundy has the lead. Washington goes to 2nd, Brockwell to 3rd, Lennon to 4th. They're tail to nose as they race to the backstretch. Here comes Washington to the inside in turn 3.
Washington trying to take little time of passing the 24 right now. Here comes Washington inside. They're still side by side battling through the corner. Sean Bounty hanging tough on the outside. Not going to happen. No, it looks like Dave Washington's going to get that position. And now Brockwell's going to try to come through as well.
Look at Brockwell. He's got a good run going down into turn 1. Does he try and make a move on Washington? He does. He sticks the nose to the inside. Brockwell didn't do anything there, but he has certainly proven he has what it takes to get by Washington. They race to the backstretch. Boundy falls to 3rd. Now he's looking to go back to 4th. There's McEwen into 69. The real good car on the early runs. He's starting to make his way through this gaggle.
He is now. McEwen, almost gets contact with a 5-car Mitch Lennon. Bounty still falling backwards right now as they run. Himstreet's going to be the next one on the list to try to get by him. Bounty, no, looks like he's all over McEwen. Trying to get that position back here as he looks to the outside as they head back to turn 1.
Still side by side now. McEwen has him cleared for the 4th position. Bounty drops in line in 5th. Himstreet into 41. He'll look to the inside. Bounty tags the wall. Himstreet all the way to the bottom. Himstreet now side by side for 5th going into 3.
Himstreet with the advantage of the 4 tires to the inside of John Bounty. Now look at the 11. Now push his way up in there. He's now side by side with Bounty. Now he's looking to the inside of Corbin Himstreet as they head down the front stretch.
Has Jones saved enough for the final portion of this race? Here he comes looking to get the top 5 position away from Himstreet. Down in turn 1, Himstreet's going to put the pinch on him, and Jones has to back out. No, he sticks a nose. That's real close off of turn 2 as they go side by side down the back stretch. No, actually, the pull in line.
Wow, what a move right there. The battle for the lead still heating up. Now Mitch Lennon starting to get back into the picture. We'll move away from those guys for a moment here, Ben, but now Brockwell trying to make a run off of turn number 4. He's going to peek to the inside. Not going to happen. He's going to follow him now down to the stripe.
Lennon is there. If these two guys get together, McEwen not too far behind. Here comes Lennon. Brockwell had a little bad entry into turn 1. He capitalizes though, gets it turned down in turn 2. That's a power run down the back stretch and into turn 3. Brockwell going to be on the bumper of Washington again. He didn't step out. He had the chance to.
Oh, I think he had the chance to by far there, but it would have been cutting it close there to stick his nose in there and into the corner. Mitch Lennon now, he wobbles just a little bit. He's going to back up now from these guys, back into the clutches of the 69. Here comes McEwen now looking to the inside of the 5. That's going to be a battle side by side for 3rd.
10 laps to go here at Michigan, and we are in the nitty-gritty. Tyler McEwen looking to make it to the 3rd position down the back stretch. He does, but Mitch Lennon, does he do it? Does he do it? No, doesn't have the run he needs. He stays in line behind.
Brockwell lost a little bit of position. Now he's about a car length behind Dave Washington as they head back into turn number 3. Brockwell trying to steal this win away from Dave Washington. Dave Washington, the class act of the field so far, leading the most laps here tonight. Still leading them all right now. About a car length
Trouble,
lead.
turn 3. Willis on the inside of the apron, up in smoke. We stay green.
Just a side note, Dylan Jones has made it into the top 5. He got around Corbin Himstreet. Himstreet still giving him a battle, though, for that position as we focus still on the leaders as they're starting to pull away from 3rd place now. Brockwell and Washington doing what they've done all race long now, pulling away from the field.
It'll be 8 laps to go this time by. When does Brockwell make his move on his mentor, or does he?
It's all about winning, Ben. Teammates or not, that's out the window at this point, my friend.
Lennon and McEwen. Those guys trying to work together to reel in these two. Lennon gets a little high off 2, loses a little bit of momentum. About 15 car lengths between Brockwell and Lennon.
Looks like these two up front are going to have to settle this one out amongst themselves as they exit turn number 4. Brockwell still about a car length advantage, or disadvantage, I should say, behind the 10 car, Dave Washington. Washington trying to make this thing stick for the rest of the night here, Ben. 7 laps to go.
14 miles. Here at Michigan International Speedway, this is setting up to be one of those signature cup finishes that we're accustomed to seeing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Jones has...
Caution.
Are you kidding me? Kenny Baum Jr. is around. Got loose, overcorrected, and Dave Elliott involved slightly. Oh my goodness. These guys are going to have to get caught up to the pace car if we want to go back green. And then once we do, Oh my, you can just imagine the chaos as they dive it down into turn number 1.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Of course, Dylan Brockwell trying to bend to get his 6th win on the season, be the top dog in that category anyway here for the Cup Series. This is race number 21 of the season. I'm right. Sorry, 22. Race number 22. Dave Washington looking
It's been a long season.
Yeah, it has been a long season. One of the longest ever here at NoBull. But Dave Washington looking for his 3rd win of the season. So not what we're used to seeing out of Dave Washington, the veteran here at NoBull. But he's definitely done his part and done what he's needed to do to be in the battle for this championship run here this season. Dylan Jones sitting 5th right now. He's going to restart on that bottom line, Ben. Is he going to be able to make up any more spots, or is that about where he's going to be tonight?
I don't know. We just got 5 laps to go here in Michigan. If we get this thing restarted, anything can happen. There goes the lucky dog of Mylan Lacey. Had a fairly decent run here tonight. 2 laps down, currently 17th on the board. So we're a little silent up here. We're waiting to hear from race control how many laps, if any, we're going to have left to run this thing out. This is only our 2nd caution of the night. Believe it or not, we went green for the first 71 laps before having our first caution.
Yeah, just a fantastic race so far here tonight. All the drama now stacking up with these restarts here. We saw that on the last restart there. Sean Bounty only taking 2 tires, but the top guys there, or the fastest guys that have been fast all night long, made short work of that. Real quick, Bounty just slipped way back there and currently running 7th. So far his strategy hasn't killed him or killed his where he was running before. And so, hey, it's worth a shot.
Certainly is. 4 laps to go at the line. We just got 2 to go. That means next time we'll get 3 to go and have 1 to go, and the next time we'll restart. So it'll be a green, white, hang on. Yeah, I'm saying this. A green, white, checkered to finish this thing off here at Michigan International Speedway. We only have 1 shot at it, though, here in the iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations.
The top simulation in the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, hang on, wait. I think NASCAR, the game 2003, had green, white checkers.
2012 or 2014 NASCAR also had it too, man.
No, must be nice. I mean, we'll probably never know the joys of having that. So we go, though. Maybe.
I'll be old, gray-haired, walking with a cane, talking like this because I have no teeth. Did I say that?
Is that how you talk? Is that how you talk?
Well, no, it sounds like the guy from ETV. Who's that? Cowboy or
I
whatever.
see what you did there. It was J.D. Webb.
J.D. Webb, the cowboy.
Be on look, he's watching tonight and will sue us for all we're worth.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Come and get it, buddy. You ain't getting much.
Yeah.
You can have my headset. I'll just go buy a new one.
Here we go. We're coming to the 1 to go. Almost in restart. I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll turn the lights off this time. Bye.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic, man. I'm just on the edge of my seat, man. I just want to know what's going to happen. And, is McEwen going to come up here and put the bumper in one of these guys, go around him? Is Mitch Lennon going to have, does he have anything left? What about Dylan Jones? Is he going to get up there and make this, something. Dave Washington was looking, he was going to make up 14 points, and now it looks like he's got to hang on to make up maybe 2 or 3 here. So,
or does the top 9 crash out and Wyatt Wolf get it done this week? He's so close a couple weeks ago at Charlotte. Anything is possible in these final 2 laps here at Michigan International Speedway. Hopefully we can go green to see how it shapes out. Oh man, this is going to be interesting as they reach the halfway point down the back straightaway. 5 miles to go. Here we go. The field through turn 4. They'll stack them up 2 by 2 by 2 for the final time tonight. The pace car heads to pit road. Washington and Brockwell, Lennon and McEwen, Jones and Hemstreet for green flag with 2 laps to go. What a start by the top 3 rows. Look at them, they are tail to nose. Bumper to bumper down into turn 1. McEwen pushes Brockwell into turn 1 and they go side by side for the lead. Brockwell has a run on the outside. Does Washington get the run off of turn 2? They're still side by side here at Michigan.
Down the backstretch, Washington, Brockwell, side by side, I should say, nose to nose here, heading into turn number 3. Brockwell with the slight advantage as they head into 3. Washington will hang it tough on the bottom. He's going to have the slight advantage, it looks like, out of turn number 4.
White flag this time by the top 6 are side by side. White flag. Brockwell to the bottom. Washington defends the bottom. Lennon now decides to step out on Brockwell. Lennon's to the bottom of Brockwell. What are they going to do to the backstretch? Brockwell going to get clear of Lennon. He's going to have one more shot down in turns 3 and 4. Do we see the bumper here in Michigan?
Might see it for Mitch Lennon and the Brockwells. He keeps trying to peek his nose down to the inside. Dave Washington now off in turn number 4 has the advantage. He's going to get it done here.
Washington wins at Michigan. Brockwell second and Lennon's going to be third in a wonderful finish. That was a good race right there. It doesn't get much more better than that on a green-white checkered. Brockwell, probably not the happiest person on the face of the earth right now. He knew he had what it took to get that win, but he just didn't have enough time within those 2 laps. I think when Lennon stuck his nose on the inside of him down in turn 1, it really messed him up and he wasn't able to get the run. We're going to take a short break, go silent for real quick. We'll catch up with the drivers. Going to have to make it quick because we are going to have a meeting afterwards here in the NoBull TeamSpeak. We encourage you to join us for that. We'll be right back momentarily here at Michigan. Alright, we are back here at Michigan International Speedway. We're going to send it down to Andy Kessler, who's caught up with second and third place. We'll talk to Michelin in first in the 5. Andy?
That's right, Ben. I'm down here on pit road. I got the number 5 Mitch Lennon here. Mitch, looked like you had something for those guys there at the end. The last couple of restarts really gave Brockwell a run for his money for that second spot. But was there just not enough time there for you to get anything for those top 2 guys?
Yeah, I really didn't have much for them speed-wise all night, really, other than drafting with them. But other than that, I couldn't run them down. Those two are really fast.
Yeah, it looked like they hooked up pretty good with the draft, utilized it to their advantage here for most of the race, if not all of it. There was a pit stop there early on in the race that your crew just did a phenomenal job with 4 tires and was able to get you out in front of a guy who short pitted. What an amazing job by your crew there. It looked like pit stops like that were gonna be what you needed to get yourself out front.
Oh, definitely. That was awesome. Crew couldn't quite perform up to that level on the second pit stop, and I lost quite a bit of ground on that one there. Yeah, it was a good race altogether. Nothing wrong with that. It was a good tight racing at the end.
No, it absolutely was. We saw a 70-lap shootout there of clean and green there to open the race up. Not too bad. Definitely showing you guys know how to get it done here on the track.
Yeah, it was an awesome clean race for me. Caught the wall one time off of 4, and that hurt me on the second run. So I lost some ground to them guys then. If we wouldn't have had the caution, I wouldn't have been anywhere near them. So I was kind of thankful for the caution. Gave me another shot at them.
That it did, but you came up just a bit short, but you got yourself a solid top 3 finish here tonight, Mitch. Anybody you'd like to thank for this good run?
Well, all the drivers I raced with all night. Ain't nobody, no incidents at all with any of them, so that was awesome. And thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Mitch. Congratulations again. That's your 3rd place finisher, Mitch Lennon, here tonight at Michigan. And right over here to my left, I got the number 20 of Dylan Brockwell. Dylan, God, the car was fast tonight. You definitely could see that. You guys brought some horsepower out of that stable with the 2 of you guys, you and Dave. But man, it seemed like all race long, like you had the car coming off the corner that you could get around them, but it just quite wasn't enough. I know early on you guys probably just had to, whoever was out in front, let it roll. Let's try to pull away from the pack. It sure worked that way in your favor, but I know towards the end, all that stuff's out the window. You really want to go for that win.
Yeah, that's right. We agreed to just work together and try to get away from everybody. That way we could settle it just us. And at the end of each run, my car was getting a little better than his. He was falling off just because he was out front, and I really thought I had to win right there because he would fall off big time. But then a couple late cautions kind of mixed everything up. But salvaged second, Mitch and McEwen and Jones and all of them were charging right there at the end, so that was pretty cool to hold them off.
Yeah, it was. It looked like for a second there you might not have been able to hold off Mitch Lennon. He was really getting up to under there. Probably disturbing your line there at the end, especially on that last restart. Maybe that might have been the cause there, or not the cause, but you couldn't really it seemed on that last restart you really couldn't get back up to that bumper of Dave Washington to really give him a run for his money there for the win.
Oh, definitely. I almost knew I wasn't going to clear him on the high side, and when I got behind him and he kind of cobbed us up down there and down the front stretch, he played it perfectly because he had me in defense instead of offense. So I was worried about Mamir instead of getting him at that point. So he was just home free.
That he was. Obviously a solid run for your team. Top finishes there, 1-2 for you guys. Congratulations again on your second place finish here, and couple more races in the chase to go. So anyone you'd like to thank for getting it done here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank y'all up in the broadcast booth. This is cool. Y'all are starting this back up. I really miss it. It's cool to go back on Friday, Saturday, and watch the race over and look at what you did wrong and what you did right and learn a little bit. I want to thank Rick, too. He puts in a lot of time for this. Best series I know of right now. He has a heck of a group of guys. The guys we race with are awesome, all clean, and I got to thank Dave again for showing me the ropes and getting me up here.
10-4. I hope he meant that it wasn't looking for what me and Ben did wrong. But anyway, congratulations,
Yeah.
Dylan. That was an awesome job here tonight. Some great racing again out of you, and good luck the rest of this season.
Thank you, bud.
Well, that is your second place finisher, Dylan Brockwell, and I believe Ben is caught up with the big Victor down in Victory Lane.
Yeah, he need a notebook, about 100 pages to figure out what we did wrong. He'd need about one sticky pad
Yeah, exactly.
to see what this guy did wrong. Dave Washington in Victory Lane yet again. I tell you what, Dave, it looked like you and Brockwell. I called you to the Washwell duo. Hope you don't mind that. It looked like you guys were at a super speedway tonight. The way you were just tearing them up here at Michigan.
If we could stay together, we were fine. We could pull away from everybody. We just figured right from the get-go, we just follow each other. You know, he wanted to follow me instead of him being out front because it makes your car tighter, and we just kept it that way the whole race, except for the end.
Yeah, that end, the final restart there, coming to the 2 to go with the green flag in the starter's hand. Were you sweating both there? Might be able to around here, maybe even in Jones or even McKee.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen there because I got that when your foot kind of stutters when I'm going to press the gas. I didn't want to jump the restart, and I kind of stumbled a little bit, and Mitch gave me a good push and got me going, and I just kept it wide open down in 1 and 2, and it stuck and went on by Brockwell, and I was able to pull him past Mitch there just to get him in behind me, and then race it out the last lap, see what happens.
It was certainly a great finish, a great race to call. Good race all in all. He had 2 cautions, and those came after a 71-lap green flag opening there. And Dave Washington, you came out on top yet again, not by much, only about a 10th, which is what you and Brockwell were separated by about the whole night. Who do you want to thank for putting you here in Victory Lane?
Definitely got to thank Brockwell. He did a hell of a job pushing me, and old Mitch for giving me that last bump on the start, and for hanging there at the end to get third. And, of course, Mr. Jones, with his horseshoe, got 4th, so I don't have the points lead by much.
There he is, Andy Dave Washington, winner tonight here at Michigan International Speedway. We got to cut this post race short. You went over your allotted time again, so we're going to have to cut it short. Yeah, you were better. We didn't go 30 minutes. It was more like 20 minutes this week.
Oh, anyway, Ben, I'll close my thoughts out here quick before we run through the order. I just want to say what a heck of a run, and we'll call this guy the closer for this race at least. Dylan Jones for basically running 15th to 18th the whole race long. Don't know if his car was that bad or if it was just stuck in the traffic and couldn't get past anybody or what it was, but there he was in true championship form, right up there in the front when you needed to be at the end.
And like I said multiple times throughout the race, it's just scary fast. How fast Washington and Brockwell are when they are tail to nose. No matter what car they're in, what track they're at, if they're tail to nose, you can rest assured they're going to be one of the fastest 2 cars on the track.
That is right, Ben, and I guess we should run them through the finishing order here.
Yeah, let's run them through how we finished it off tonight. Dave Washington comes home with the win. Dylan Brockwell second. Michelin in third. Dylan Jones came home fourth. Tyler McEwen was fifth. Corbin Hemstreet sixth. James Gagne seventh. Kevin Ford was eighth. Ryan Libby ninth. And Wyatt Wolf rounds out the top 10.
Coming home 11th was Sean Bounty. Chad Osborne finishes 12th, 13th to Rodney Kramer. Kenny Baum Jr. finishes 14th, 15th to Mitch Rollo, while Wolf Jr. finishes 16th. Mylan Lacey finishes 17th, 18th to Stefan Burnell, 19th to Dave Elliott, and Philip Willis finishes out 20th.
Brian F. 21st, Eric Dallariva 22nd, Ty Wachowski 23rd after that speeding penalty. Brian Terry comes home 24th, and Dave Camara comes home 25th after his problems early on, or right at halfway, I should say. That's finishing order for tonight, and that's pretty much going to do it. We got to get to this meeting that is scheduled for us. So for all the racers here at NoBull Motorsport, we thank you for tuning in. We encourage you to hop on TeamSpeak. For Andy Kessler, Cisco S, I am Ben Kilcrease. We'll see you next time right here on NoBull Network 1. And remember to put the phone down.